The next step in your ChiroHD setup is adding in your services list and attaching the CPT codes. In ChiroHD, we define services as charges added to a patient's ledger to record the CPT code and any modifiers, billed units, place of service, charge amount, etc. Services are added at the system level, so here under system settings and then services. And the services that are added at the system level can be used to track your patient's care, trigger alerts, provide clarity in reporting, and so much more. Services added at the system level are also available within any additional locations in your network. That means that if you decide to expand your practice to serve more communities and open up additional locations, the setup is pretty much done already. So we make franchising and expanding as easy on our partners as we can. So before we do this, please triple check that you are logged into the system dashboard and not the location before beginning this process. So make sure that you see this view, system settings here, instead of this view. If you see the word settings instead of the word system settings, you know you're in the wrong place. So if you are in the location, you will have system defaults, location specific, and pending requests here. If you see this, danger, Will Robinson, get out of there. Click on the ChiroHD button, or this will actually have the name of your location on it. So click on that button to get back to the system dashboard, and this is where you will complete the rest of this. As soon as you log into your account, you'll be directed to the system dashboard. So before clicking into a location, you'll click System Settings and then Services. And this is how you'll be sure that you're in the correct place. So again, if you see the green button up here or you see the calendar, you know that you are in the location and you need to back out into the system. Now, this is very important. If you create services within the location by mistake, you will need to deactivate all of them and start from scratch at the system level. So just please be sure that you are logged into the system dashboard, not the location. Also, please do not add any inventory items to your services, as those are categorized separately. So if you have, the physical products that you sell, do not create them in your system's services. Okay, so here is your step-by-step to create your service list. So this is created again under System Settings, Services, and you will see this screen come up. It will be blank the first time you come here, but I have a few services in here ready to go. So first, you're going to click Create Service. Now, you're going to decide what you will name your service and add this information to the name field. So let's say, for example, an adjustment 1 to 2 regions. Decide what you're going to charge for this service and add to the default price. This is the default price that any clinic in your network is going to charge for their adjustment 1 to 2. Now, you can override this in the location and change the price of an individual service as an override, but we'll get to that later. Next, you'll determine if it is taxable and select true or false. If it is taxable, you'll move it to true. Most services are not taxable, so you will leave it as false. Then the category here. This is just for your information. This field will probably go away eventually. We used to categorize, or we used to use this category to track your reporting, but now we track it elsewhere, and that'll be the next step that we cover. So I'm going to put adjustment. You'll put in the CPT code. Now, please note that most of the CPT codes that you're going to use in your practice are already in our system. If you do put in a CPT code and it doesn't come up here, and so you don't see it here, you just need to reach out to our support team and we will get that added for you. Most CPT codes are already in here. You'll just have to type in a few letters. So, for example, if you want all the 989 codes, they're all going to be here. I'm going to select the correct one. If you are creating a service that requires multiple billed units, please record how many billed units this particular service reflects. For example, a 30-minute massage is 2 billed units, whereas a 90-minute massage is 6. Next, you're going to determine the place of service and record it in the place of service field. If you're not sure what your place of service should be, you can view the cms.gov website here and decide on your place of service code. Typically for you, it's going to be 11, as in your office location. Next, we provide space for up to 4 modifiers. Again, most modifiers are in this system. We only display a certain number, so if you are looking for the GA modifier, for example, you would type it in and it would pop up. Any modifiers added to the service will be attached to all instances of that service on all patient ledgers. So for this reason, we recommend creating one service without the modifier and one service with the modifier. For example, we recommend creating separate services for Medicare with modifiers built in. Please note that every insurance company has different requirements for which modifiers should be submitted, so please consult with your billing expert to determine which insurance companies require which modifiers. If you don't have a billing company you're working with, we can send you a list of ones that we recommend. And if you need to speak to someone and aren't sure who to speak to, please reach out to your onboarding specialist and they'll schedule a free consultation and training call with our billing experts through Sage Healthy. We're a partner in your practice and we're happy to help you remain compliant. So please reach out to us if you need that. Okay. So next, box 19 and box 24, we recommend adding any service note that requires a note on box 24 or 19 directly here. All right, and now this unbillable on selected case types requires a little bit of explanation. ChiroHD offers an insurance validation feature that can prevent items billing through a case type they shouldn't, such as 98941 without the AT modifier billing through a Medicare case. As you know, any Medicare service has to have the AT modifier on it in order to get paid. Any Medicare service without the modifier will get rejected. So our available case types are cash, insurance, Medicare, workman's compensation, and personal injury. And if a service is accidentally billed through a case type on which the service is marked as unbillable, our insurance validation tool will catch the error and the service will not bill out until the error is fixed. So by specifying which case types cannot bill the service item, rejections can be prevented. This is another way we partner in your practice. So for example, on this service, I have my 98940. I'm going to remove the AT modifier, and I would make this unbillable to Medicare. That way, if I accidentally bill this code without the modifier on a Medicare case, it's going to pop up in my insurance validation check, and I will be able to void it out and post the Medicare charge instead. Next, enforce price for billing. This also coincides with our insurance validation. So if the service price should be enforced when billing to insurance, toggle the enforce price billing field to true. When enforcing price for billing, if a service is accidentally billed at any other price than the service price, our insurance validation tool will catch the error and the service will not bill out until the error is fixed and that code is revalidated. So this is going to prevent any clinic in your network from billing this code out at any other price than $55. Now, default responsibility. Any service can be set to patient responsibility, third-party payer responsibility, or case type responsibility for our insurance validation tool to catch. So by setting default responsibility on a service, that service will automatically be applied to the set responsibility. For example, if you know that Medicare will never pay on a certain CPT code, but your Medicare patient receives those services regularly, you can apply the service price to patient responsibility by default, saving your insurance biller time and helping you run more efficiently. Similarly, you can have the default responsibility to the third-party payer by default or to the case type by default. For example, if the patient's default case is cash, it'll default to cash responsibility. If the case type is insurance, it'll default to the third-party payer responsibility. All right, just a few more little things you can see here. I told you that we recommend creating the 98941 regular, and then one with the modifier. I have my Medicare adjustment in here. I have my AT modifier built in, and you can see it's unbillable to cash, insurance, PI, and workman's comp. I have manual therapy. I have laser therapy. I have my extra spinal adjustment. And then I also have a monthly care plan charge service here. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the course. But if you do have care plans that you charge, for example, let's say your patient pays $250 a month for, 4 visits or whatever, we will go through how to handle that later on in the course. Lastly, you can also merge services. So for example, if you accidentally created a duplicate of a code, you can put both here, submit it, and the one that is on the right will merge into the one that's on the left, and all instances of that code across the system will be merged into the other. All right, now go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and get your services created. If you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out to your onboarding specialist, or you can chat in here.